Tag TV and Tag Radio be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. 50 grand. That's right, $50,000 in cash and over $400,000 in services. The judges have announced the final four from an original number of 80 companies that went through the early rounds. But now it's right up to the semifinals where 10 were selected, and then there were 4. It's back, it's bigger, and it's better than ever. The 2012 TAG Business Launch Competition. Since founded to support Georgia's borough-going startup community in 2006, it has become one of the largest competitions of its kind in the United States, awarding over the years $450,000 in cash and over $1 million in donated services. Greetings, everyone. This is a special 2012 TAG Business Launch Tech Talk series, exclusive interviews with this year's finalists you simply will not want to miss. An all-star panel of judges from venture capital and investment firms from Boston, Menlo Park, California, Vienna, Virginia, and Atlanta studied, drilled, and gave hard questions for over 2 days to the presenters, narrowing the 10 semifinals to 4 remaining companies gearing up for the big competition at 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. on May the 24th. America, this is your Final Four launch competition. Finalist fighting to win $50,000 in cash and over $400,000 in services, and only one, to be awarded the grand prize of all, to be named the TAG 2012 Business Launch winner. Bright Light Systems Incorporated, LED and LEP solid-state lighting technology, energy-efficient lighting, fixtures, and energy data management solutions. Collector Dash, a social mobile e-commerce platform for manufacturers and sellers of collectible items. IdeaString, socialized innovation and collaboration platforms for the enterprise. And SalesLoft, leveraging the power of the Internet and CRM data to speed up client sales cycles and close more deals. It's Tuesday, May 8th, and first up to the Tech Talk exclusive series, TAG Business Launch Final Four, Tino interviews Brad Lurie, CEO of Bright Light Systems. A native of Atlanta, after nearly a decade career at Emerson Electric, he later became VP for Varick, a company he globalized, doubled in revenues in a little less than 3 years, and sold to SAIC. Then, 2 years later, as a senior executive at a British concern, he again doubled that company's American market revenues, and while the corporation sold to Cooper Industries, he remained that company's senior executive. In 2008, he co-founded his own company while still remaining in corporate. Then in 2011, he left to become chairman of IMAC Group and CEO of Bright Light Systems. America, first of your Final Four, meet Brad Lurie as Tino Tech Talk's Business Launch finalist, Bright Light Systems.
Brad, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk today.
Oh, thank you, Tino. Thank you for allowing me to be on the show. It's a pleasure.
Well, congratulations, first of all. We started out with 80-some companies vying for the honor of being this year's Business Launch Competition winner, and it's down to the Final Four. How's that feel?
Well, it's extremely exciting that Bright Light Systems has been chosen as one of the top 4 finalists. And, we're excited. The process has been it's been challenging, it's been fun, and it's so far been extremely rewarding, causing us to rethink our business and our models and, what's the right thing to do for our customers.
Well, let's talk about your business. What does Bright Light Systems do?
Yeah, so Bright Light Systems is really a growth stage company focused on energy-efficient lighting solutions, incorporating some of the latest technology of light sources, predominantly that of light-emitting plasma, along with some of the light-emitting diode, or LEDs, that you'll hear about. We've incorporated this technology into our light fixtures, and we bring a highly advantageous solution to the customers in the industrial space. Incorporated with this, we've really wrapped a lot of technology around what's traditionally been a hardware play, and that is incorporating wireless controls with these smart new light fixtures, and gives us the ability to do some of the simple things like on-off programming, doing things via astronomical clocks. And then the real secret sauce is we have the ability to collect the energy data of each of the fixtures that our wireless controllers are attached to, and then we can turn around for a large industrial plant and give them back on a weekly or a monthly or a quarterly basis the exact amount of energy they've consumed by their yard lighting. So really, really exciting that we're bringing something which has traditionally been durable goods and putting a lot of technology around what's traditionally been predominantly a hardware play.
Well, there's a lot of movement in this whole energy area. Obviously, we have a society that calls itself smart energy and talks about the smart grid, and there's all the drive always for efficiencies. What's your differentiator at Bright Light Systems versus other energy-efficient solutions that are out there now?
Well, I think we're on the cutting edge of it, Tino, and the reason I say that is when I talk about our energy data management platform and our ability to not only control these lights but also report back exactly how much energy is consumed by each of these fixtures. We're talking about industrial applications like marine ports, airports, large railroad yards, and about 40 to 50% of the energy spent in these particular markets is around their area or yard lighting. So that's a big, big piece of their energy consumption and a big part of their operational cost. Today, they're buying under their fixed utility rates. We all know, as you said, with the smart grid technology coming into play, the ability to purchase energy on the open market is soon going to be upon us in the industrial sector, probably before the residential. So our ability to give these customers their energy utilization of their biggest consumer of energy is going to be extremely important. So when they go out and they work on their contracts or they negotiate contracts for their energy requirement on the open market, they're going to know exactly how much they need to procure. Because with the smart grid technology, what I think is, the kilowatt that they go over their agreed or negotiated usage, their rates are going to go up tenfold. So that's the importance of our energy data management platform, being able to tell them from a historical period what their usage has been, taking into account seasonal as well as peak hours.
And I guess this is called LEP, or light emitting plasma, and that's different from LED, which I think is what's out there in most of the world today. Am I right? And how are they different? Is this anything about, well, obviously there's a dollar savings over the long haul on this, but what else
Sure.
is different about it? Yeah.
So LEDs were introduced into the market in the early 1960s, and you've seen them in numerous applications, everything from computers to television screens to automobile lights, headlights, tail lights. You see LEDs used in a wide variety of applications. Most of them are low lumen applications, which means that I don't require a high level of brightness out of that particular light source. So one of the most saturated markets that quickly adopted LED was exit signs and emergency signs. And so, again, doesn't have to be a high brightness. Where the light-emitting plasma has its differentiation is when you get into high lumen applications. And so this is where you need an extreme amount of light coming out of a source in order to fulfill an application. So if I give you an example, a single LED, typically, one of the top in the market today has about 110 lumens per watt, which makes it, somewhere around 300 lumens out of that source. Our light-emitting plasma sources, the baseline for that is 23,000 lumens. So you can imagine, this is almost 1,000 times the brightness out of a single light source. So when we apply these in these industrial worlds, we get into applications like high mast, where we've developed a fixture that is installed 80 to 125 feet above the ground. So, more commonly, people who are not in the industrial world may see these in a highway interchange. And so we're providing not only a high lumen, which means a tremendous amount of light coming out, but we're also driving energy down. With our fixture, we're about 65% more energy efficient than what we're replacing. When we start coupling that with the smarts of the technology that allow us to remotely control these fixtures, we start pushing that envelope towards 75 to 80% energy savings for our customers.
So for these big companies, you're talking about a significant amount of money that they'll save with the lighting and then with the data management combined.
I can give you an example of one of our early adopting customers in California, and California has one of the highest utility rates in the U.S. We're in the process of doing a rollout of a 200-acre site. And so in this 200-acre site, this is a port where they import and export goods and materials via cargo. And so on this particular site, they're spending about $1.7 million per annum in their yard lighting. As they roll out the bright light system solution, the projected spend on their energy is going to be reduced from $1.7 million just to a little less than $500,000.
Wow.
So we're going to save them about $1.2 million per annum. The cost of this project and their rollout is such that it's less than a 2-year payback. So after the second year, they're going to start dropping about $1.2 million directly to their bottom line each and every year.
So less than a 2-year payback, though. Well, any company is looking for that nowadays. So you guys, obviously, it's understandable why you're in the Final Four. Any last words in terms of if investors are listening in, what you might say about why Bright Light Systems would be an interesting company to take a look at, and also, are you looking for what kind of funding are you looking for at this point?
Yeah, thanks, Tino. So 2 parts of the question. The first part is the type of funding that we're looking for. Actually, Bright Light's in the process of raising about $1 million of growth capital, and that's really to accelerate our commercial execution strategy. We've got products, we've got our manufacturing in place. We're just ready to really go out and expand our commercial operations so we generate the revenues. Why would an investor find this to be an interesting play? The lighting market itself is about $80 billion growing to $120 billion, according to a recent McKinsey study. In the energy efficient sector, they expect that by the year 2020, energy efficient lighting is going to be approximately 65% of that, so north of $70 billion. And then what complements it is this whole automation side. The automation piece is expected to grow from $2.5 billion to a little over $9 billion in the same time frame. So I think we're very uniquely positioned. We're leading with cutting-edge technology. We've wrapped a lot of IP around it to give us, the foundation of our runway. We're doing some really neat and unique things with the control system, that positions Bright Light to be a market leader. We're sort of that inch-wide, mile-deep strategy that we're not going to be all things to all people, but we're going to be a significant component in a very unique market space.
Well, Brad, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk today, and best of luck in the Final Four.
Tino, thank you for allowing me to be on the show. It's been a pleasure.